In continuation with the previous class, we started definite integrals and we had seen various problems based on definite integrals. Now we will be seeing properties of definite integrals, right? The very first property, you should remember all these property. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of z dz. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of z dz. In this function, x is a variable, and in this function is in terms of variable z. But limits are from a to b, and here also limits are from a to b. If we integrate and if we substitute the limits, we will be getting the same answer. This is the meaning of this particular property. Right, now we shall see the proof also. Sometimes they may ask proofs, and it is very important to learn the proofs also. Right, let integral of f of x dx is equal to, I call this as f of t. Now, if suppose I apply the limits integral a to b f of x dx, what is the meaning? Here f of t from the limits a to b. Now in this function I need to substitute upper limit as well as lower limit. So what happens? We'll be getting f of b minus f of a. So final conclusion, what can I give? Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to f of b, this is b, f of b minus f of a. This I will call as number 1. Now later what I will be doing? Also let integral of f of z dz I call as some f of y. If suppose integrating this function, we will be getting some other function, that function I name it as f of y. So similarly, I will be applying the limits a to b f of z dz, that is equal to f of y from the limits a to b. So what happens? We need to substitute the upper limit as well as we need to substitute the lower limit. So we will be getting f of b minus f of a. So what happened? Integral a to b f of z dz we got as f of b minus f of a. So I call this as number 2. If you could observe carefully, from 1 and 2 we got the same values. Therefore finally what I conclude, from 1 and 2 integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of z dz. So it's an important property, you should remember. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of z dz. Right? In today's, now we shall go for another property. What this property is telling means, integral a to b f of x dx is equal to minus integral b to a f of x dx. That means whenever lower limit is changed to upper limit and upper limit is changed to lower limit, here comes a sign called minus, and minus of integral b to a f of x dx. We shall also see the proof of this particular property. How I will be doing means, let same pattern, integral of f of x dx is equal to, I call it as f of x. Now what I will be doing, I will be applying the limits integral a to b f of x dx is equal to, here what happens, f of x, and here from a to b. So what happens, we will be getting f of b minus f of a. This is a, f of a. Therefore finally what happens, integral a to b f of x dx is equal to f of b, this is f of b minus f of a. So we got integral a to b f of x dx is equal to f of b minus f of a. Now later what I will be doing, see here, this is the value we got on simplifying left hand side. Now what I will be doing means, if suppose if I call this, if I call as 2 and if I call as 1, Now what I'll be doing means from 1, if I multiply by minus on both sides, that means minus f of x dx means finally we will be getting f of x, because integral of some function, integral of f of x dx is capital F of x. I multiplied by minus on both sides. Now what I'll be doing means I'll be taking the limits from b to a f of x dx, that is equal to minus I will be keeping outside, and here f of x from the limits b to a. So finally what happens, minus of, we will be getting upper limit substituting means f of a, lower limit substituting means minus f of b. So माइनस से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो हमको क्या आ जाता, f minus f of a plus f of b. So finally what happens, this turns down to f of b minus f of a. So finally what happened, integral of minus b to a f of x dx is equal to f of b minus f of a. Now if I call this as some number 3, if I call this as number 3, from 2 and 3, what can I conclude? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to minus integral b to a f of x dx. I think this is clear to you. Once again I am repeating, it's a second property. Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to minus integral b to a f of x dx. Let integral of f of x dx is equal to capital F of x. So on both sides I applied integral from a to b f of x dx, that is equal to f of x from a to b. Now substituting means I got as f of b minus f of a. So I call this as number 2. Later what I have done, if I call this as 1, I multiplied with minus, then applied integral. So minus of integral b to a f of x dx is equal to minus f of x from b to a. So minus common means f of a minus f of b, that is equal to minus f of a plus f of b. So integral of minus b to a f of x dx is equal to f of b minus f of a. Please copy. Now we shall be seeing property number 3. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to c f of x dx plus integral of c to b f of x dx if a is lesser than c is lesser than b. It's an important property beta. Everyone should remember this property. Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to c f of x dx plus integral of c to b f of x dx if a is less than c is less than b. That means whenever c is lying between a and b, this kind of equality will be holding in definite integration. So I'll be proving this. So how I'll be proving means, same, let integral of f of x dx is equal to capital F of x. Now later I will apply integral a to b f of x dx is equal to f of x from the limits a to b. So what happens, that implies we will be getting f of b minus f of a. So finally what I will be concluding, integral a to b f of x dx is equal to f of b minus f of a. I call this as number 1. Now I will call this as number 2. Now I will call this as number 1. So later what happens, now 1 implies, in 1 what I will be doing, I will be applying limits from a to c f of x dx, that is equal to f of x. So here what happens, a to c. So finally what I will be getting, f of c minus f of a. I will call this as number 3. Later again also for the same equality 1, I will be applying limits from c to b. That means c to b f of x dx is equal to f of x from c to b, that is equal to what happens, c to b I said, a to c and c to b I said. So what happens, finally we will be getting a f of b minus f of c. I call this as number 4. Therefore, finally, what I'll be doing, I'll be adding 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 means how can we write? Integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx is equal to f of c minus f of a plus f of b minus f of c. So f of c will be getting cancelled. Finally remains f of b minus f of a. So f of b minus f of a means integral a to b f of x dx. Therefore finally what I will be concluding, integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of x dx, which is the required result. This is the result. Right? Now we shall be seeing another property, property 4. What this property is telling means integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. That means the sum of the limits, that means a plus b we are adding and we are subtracting. So let us see whether this is right or wrong. I will be going by a proof. What I will be doing means, let a plus b minus x is equal to t. I will be putting. So what happens? Derivative, this is a constant, इसका derivative 0, this is a constant, इसका derivative 0, and here what happens, this becomes minus dx because we are doing with respect to x, that means here dt by dx comes going to that side, so minus dx is equal to dt. So what happens, dx is equal to minus dt we will be getting. So what I will be doing, when x is equal to a, when x is equal to a, that means x की जगह में a substitute करें तो a cancel हो जाता and we'll be getting t value as b. And when I put x is equal to b, what happens, x की जगह में I'll be substituting b, then bb will be getting cancelled and we'll be getting t is equal to a. Therefore I will consider RHS. So integral of a to b f of a plus b minus x dx is equal to integral of a की जगह में I will be substituting b and b की जगह में I will be substituting a, and f of a plus b minus x means f of d, and in place of dx I need to substitute minus dt. Therefore what happens, finally that is equal to, this is b, that is equal to minus will be outside and b to a f of t dt. But there is a property 2. What is that property telling? You remember that property, integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to minus b to a f of x dx, if you remember carefully. So here also what happens, I will make lower limit as upper limit and upper limit as lower limit, so that this minus will be getting cancelled. So what happens here, minus a to b f of t dt. So finally what happens, a to b, this turns as a f of x dx. How you got this means we used another property. What is that property? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of z dz. Therefore finally what can I give a conclusion, integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Sometimes this question they may ask in 4 marks also. You should remember this particular thing. Right? Now we shall be seeing a fifth property, which is a special case of the previous property. What is the previous property? Once again I will be revising. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So we call this as a special case. Now how can we prove this particular thing? We shall see. Again proof. What I will be doing means, let a minus x is equal to t. a minus x is equal to t means minus dx is equal to dt, तो फिर dx is equal to minus dt. When x is equal to 0, what happens? T का value will be a, and x is equal to a, what happens? T का value will be 0. Therefore integral, I'll be considering right hand side, integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx is equal to x k is equal to 0 means I got t is equal to a, so 0 के स्थान में I will be substituting a. When x is equal to a, t का value will be 0, so integral of a to 0, and here f of a minus x means f of t, and dx means I'll be writing it as minus dt. So finally what we got, here I am doing, finally what we got, that is equal to, minus will be outside, integral of a to 0 f of t dt. But I'll be using the second property. So what happens using that property means lower limit will become as upper limit will become as lower limit, so minus will be getting answered, 0 to a f of t dt. What is the property that I used? Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to minus b to a f of x dx. Everything you should show. So what happens? Integral 0 to a f of t dt we got. So in this is as t and x are independent to each other, so directly I can write integral of 0 to a f of x dx. Therefore finally what conclusion can I come means integral of 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of a minus x dx. You can copy now. We are going to see an very important property, minus a to a, that means integral of minus a to a f of x dx will be equal to 0 provided f of x is an odd function. And the same result, integral of minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx if f of x is an even function. Before proving this, I will be once again revising what do you mean by an even function and what do you mean by an odd function. If suppose f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, whenever f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, this kind of function we call as an odd function. If suppose f of minus x is equal to f of x, we call this kind of function as even function. Once again I am repeating, whenever f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, this one we call as an odd function, and f of minus x is equal to f of x, then the function you call it as an even function. You should remember the definition for proving this particular property. So here, how can we prove? We shall be seeing. It's a lengthy proof. We should have little bit patience also. We know that WKT means I'll call as, we know that minus a to a f of x dx is equal to, between minus a to a there will be an integer called as 0, because here a and minus a and a are real numbers. So what I will be doing, minus a to 0, I can write this as f of x dx, and here 0 to a f of x dx. I think I splitted this into two intervals, that means minus a to 0 f of x dx plus 0 to a f of x dx. How I splitted means, if you could remember carefully, I think property 3 or 4, whenever a is less than c is less than b, that means c is a number lying between a and b, integral of a to b f of x dx can be written as a to c f of x dx plus c to b f of x dx. I think you can remember, whenever c is a number lying between a and b, and integral of a to b f of x dx means integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx. Right? I think you can remember that property. So what I'll be doing, I'll be calculating this particular part. How I'll be calculating means, I'll put x is equal to minus z. When I put x is equal to minus z, dx is equal to minus dz. Now when x is equal to minus a, that implies z is equal to a. When x is equal to 0, that implies z is equal to 0. Therefore, what happens in right hand side, just I will be simplifying this particular part only beta. So integral of, whenever minus a is coming, I can put in place of z is equal to a, I can put, and 0 in place of 0 means z also will be 0, and this becomes f of minus z, and dx के स्थान में I can write minus dz plus integral of this, as usual I don't want to disturb this particular integral, so integral of 0 to a f of x dx. So finally what happens? Finally, if you could observe carefully, that is equal to integral of a to 0, here minus will be there, here minus will be there because minus dz, minus going outside, we will be getting f of minus z dz plus integral of 0 to a f of x dx. So now what I will be doing, I want to eliminate this particular minus. How can I eliminate this particular minus? Means I will make lower limit as upper limit and upper limit as lower limit, and 0 to a minus will be getting eliminated, and will be getting f of minus z dz plus integral of 0 to a f of x dx. What is the property I applied? Means integral of a to b f of x dx, f of x dx is equal to minus b to a f of x dx. This is the property. I think you can see integral a to b f of x dx is equal to, this is minus beta minus integral b to a f of x dx, the same property. And later this particular thing I can write as 0 to a f of minus x dx by the property, the very second property, or you can call as the first property because it gives rise to the same value, plus integral of 0 to a f of x dx. Now here we will be getting two cases. Here we will be getting two cases. But before taking the cases, what this mean? Integral minus a to a f of x dx. You should remember. I will write neatly here. What is this particular thing refers for? Integral of minus a to a f of x dx we obtained as what? Like this. Minus a to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of minus x dx plus integral 0 to a f of x dx. So case 1, if f of x is odd, if f of x is odd means what happens? F of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So what happens? That implies integral of minus a to a f of x dx is equal to, in place of f of minus x I can write minus f of x. So integral 0 to a minus f of x dx plus integral 0 to a f of x dx. I think minus will be getting cancelled. If minus is getting cancelled, minus coming outside means both will be getting cancelled, and this gives rise to 0. So final conclusion, what can I bring? Integral of minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 0 provided f of x is what function? Odd function. Now we shall be going for case 2. Case 2, here I am writing beta. Observe carefully everyone. I think everyone has copied so far. So case 2 I am going. Case 2. If f of x, this is f beta, if f of x is an even function, if f of x is an even function means what is the meaning? I am writing that therefore f of minus x is equal to f of x. That means wherever f of minus x coming, I will be putting f of x. Therefore what happens finally? Integral minus a to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a in place of f of minus x I will put f of x dx, and later as usual 0 to a f of x dx. So finally gives rise to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. So finally what happens? Integral of minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. I think you are clear with this. Now we shall be going for another property. Integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. We shall see the proof. Right. We know that integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of a to 2a f of x dx. Now for my convenience, I doesn't want to disturb this particular integral. But in place of this, I will be writing it as f of 2a minus x. So for this, what I will be doing means, I will put x is equal to 2a minus y. So what happens? Dx is equal to minus dy. When x is equal to a, when you put x is equal to a, what happens? What will be getting? X की value, x की जगह में a substitute किया तो a minus 2a is equal to minus y. So finally what will be getting? Y is equal to a. Now when I put x is equal to 2a, when I put x is equal to 2a, I think 2a will be getting cancelled. We will be getting y equal to 0. Therefore finally what happens? Integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus, in place of this particular a, I will be writing it as a only, but in place of 2a, I will be writing 0, because when x is equal to 2a, I got y value as 0, and in place of x, I will be writing as 2a minus y, and in place of dx, I will be writing minus dy. So finally, if you could observe carefully what we got, integral of 0 to a f of x dx. Now minus will be coming outside. As minus will be coming outside, here I am writing minus, and just here I will write as dy. But if you could observe carefully, 0 to a is there, 0 to a is there, but here a to 0 is there, and outside minus sign is there. So I will be applying that particular property, property 2. It turns down to what? 0 to a, and minus minus becomes plus, and here it turns as f of 2a minus y dy. So finally, as x and y are independent to each other, if we put x is equal to y, there is no loss, because as it is a definite integral, we will be getting the same value. So finally what happens? Therefore integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. It's a very, very important property. You should remember carefully. What is the property? Once again I am telling, integral 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of x dx plus integral 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. You should remember this particular property. Breaking up is very important. After breaking is done, we need to put x is equal to 2a minus y, and the rest is same. Right friends, now we shall be seeing another two important properties, very beautiful properties. Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a plus c to b plus c f of x minus c dx. And here integral a to b f of x dx is equal to 1 by c integral ac to bc f of x by c dx. First I will be proving this. Later we shall be going to that one. Proof. What I will be doing means, I will be putting x minus c is equal to z. when I put x minus c is equal to z, dx will be equal to dz, and later when x is equal to a plus c, that means x की जगह में a plus c substitute करें तो c will be getting cancelled and z will be a. When x is equal to b plus c, when I substitute x is equal to b plus c will be getting cancelled and z is equal to b. Now I will be taking RHS, integral of a plus c to b plus c f of x minus c dx is equal to integral of x is equal to a plus c means z का value a, when x is equal to b plus c z का value b, and I kept x minus c as z, so f of z dx means dz. So finally what I got, integral a to b f of z dz. So this can be rewritten as integral of a to b f of x dx. See, therefore finally what I got, this is nothing but LHS only. So finally what can I conclude, integral of a plus c to b plus c f of x minus c dx is equal to integral of a to b f of x dx. This is also an important property you should remember. Now I am going to that particular property. What it is telling, integral a to b f of x dx is equal to 1 by c integral ac to bc f of x by c dx. So what I will be doing, I will put x by c is equal to z. If I put x by c is equal to z means 1 by c dx is equal to dz. So dx is equal to c dz. Now when x is equal to ac, x की जगह में ac substitute करें तो z is equal to a. When x is equal to bc, x की जगह में bc substitute करें तो z is equal to b. Therefore I will take right hand side once again, RHS 1 by c integral of ac to bc f of x by c dx is equal to 1 by c. When x is equal to ac, z will become as a. When x is equal to bc, z will become as b. F of x by c means f of z. Dx means again we will be getting as c dz. So I think c is a constant, it comes outside means both will be getting cancelled. Finally integral a to b f of z dz. I think this is a definite integral, so we can write directly as integral a to b f of x dx, which gives rise to the same result. So we proved our two properties. What are the two properties? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a plus c to b plus c f of x minus c dx, and integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to 1 by c integral ac to bc f of x by c dx. Very, very important, you should remember. We are seeing properties of definite integrals. In today's class we shall be going for another property. The property goes like this: if f of x is a periodic function with the period t, then integral of 0 to nt f of x dx is equal to n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx. It's a very, very important property. If f of x is a periodic function with a period t, then integral of 0 to nt f of x dx is equal to n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx. First of all, we need to know what do you mean by this particular periodic function. In functions chapter, earlier I discussed the definition of periodic function. I think once again I will be revising. Here I will be writing a function f is said to have period t provided it satisfies the condition f of x plus t is equal to f of x. that means f of x plus t is equal to f of x, then we can call the function had a period, or the function will have period t. For example, sin x is a function. Sin x is a function which is having period 2 pi. Cos x is a function which is having period 2 pi, and tan x is a function which is having period pi. In graphs also I taught how sin x will be having period 2 pi, how cos x will be having period 2 pi, and how tan x will be having a period pi, because the graph or the shape of the graph will repeat for every interval of 2 pi. So that is the other concept as we had discussed. So just I had given a brief glance about this particular periodic function. Right, while proving this result, we need to remember another important property. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a minus c to b minus c f of x plus c dx. We need to remember this particular property in previous class which we had discussed. So now I am proving this property. In a CBSE examination, this property has asked for 2 to 3 times. We should remember. Now I will be considering LHS. What is our LHS? Integral of 0 to nt f of x dx. So this how I will be writing means 0 to t, because n refers for some natural number, 0 to t f of x dx. Again the function goes like this, from t to 2t f of x dx. Again the function goes like this, from 2t to 3t f of here what happens, f of x dx, f of x dx is there, so here I will be writing it as f of x plus t, f of x plus t, f of x plus t dx. Later again from 2t to 3t it just goes like this, f of x plus 2t dx plus dot 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 dot, finally comes n minus 1 to t nt, and here comes x plus n minus 1 into t dx. Now if you could observe carefully, I will be applying this particular property. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a minus c to b minus c f of x plus c dx, and I will be applying the definition of our periodicity. So if you could observe carefully, the first integral will be like that only. So 0 to t f of x dx plus here integral of, applying that particular ticked one, that means this particular property here comes to 0 to t, because if suppose I subtract t, that means t minus t will be 0, 2t minus t will be t, and function is periodicity with a period t, so this becomes f of x dx plus integral of, here also comes 0 to t and f of x dx plus dot dot dot, finally it raises to 0 to t f of x dx. If you could observe carefully, there are n definite integrals. So a plus dot 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 n means I can write as na. Similarly, integral of 0 to t f of x dx plus integral of 0 to t f of x dx plus integral of 0 to t f of x dx dot 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 n times are there. So here what happens, it rises to, it gives rise to n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx, which is our required answer. Therefore LHS will be equal to RHS. Once again I am explaining, please hear. Given f of x is a periodic function with period t, then integral of 0 to nt f of x dx is equal to n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx. What do you mean by periodicity? Periodicity means a function f is said to have period t if f of x plus t is equal to f of x dx. For proving this theorem, we need to remember another important property of definite integral. What that property is telling means integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a minus c to b minus c f of x plus c dx. So what happens? Integral of 0 to nt f of x dx can be written like this: 0 to t f of x dx plus t to 2t f of x plus t dx. This is also obtained by the previous property. In previous class we discussed integral 2t to 3t f of x plus 2t dx plus dot 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 n minus 1 into t to nt f of x plus n minus 1 into t dx. As function is periodic with period t, this I will be leaving like this. This turns down to f of x. This also will become f of x. This also will become f of x. As these definite integrals are repeated for n times, we will be having the final result as n into integral of 0 to t f of x ds. Please copy. Very important. Right. Now we shall be going for another property. If f of x is a periodic function with a period t, then integral of mt to nt f of x dx is equal to m minus n integral of 0 to t f of x dx. I am repeating, f of x is a periodic function with a period t, then integral of mt to nt f of x dx is equal to m minus n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx. Right. For proving this property, again once again we should remember the just previous property. What is that property telling? If f of x is a periodic function with period t, then integral of 0 to nt f of x dx is equal to n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx. So for proving this property, what I will be doing means, once again I will be considering LHS. What is our LHS? Integral of mt to nt f of x dx is equal to, here if suppose 0 is any real number between mt and nt, I will be writing like this: mt to 0 f of x dx plus 0 to nt f of x dx. Now what I will be doing means, I will change lower limit to upper limit to lower limit. So what happens? Minus sign will be coming outside. So here comes 0 to mt f of x dx plus integral of 0 to nt f of x dx. So finally what happens? That is equal to, applying the just previous property, here what comes? Minus m integral of 0 to t f of x dx plus n into integral 0 to t f of x dx. What is that property? Integral of 0 to nt f of x dx is equal to n into integral of 0 to t f of x dx. So finally I think this particular thing and this particular integral both are common, so I can take n minus m outside. Finally gives rise to integral of 0 to t f of x dx, that is equal to right hand side. Therefore left hand side will be equal to right hand side. Please copy. This is also an important one. So the last property in definite integrals, integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to b minus a integral 0 to 1 f of b minus a into x plus a dx. Right, I will be proving this property by taking right hand side, and later I will be proving it as left hand side. Both are one and the same. So how I will be doing means, I will consider RHS at the beginning. What is RHS given to us? B minus a integral 0 to 1 f of b minus a into x plus a dx. So later what I will be doing? We need to put b minus a into a, b minus a into x plus a is equal to z. I will consider b minus a into x plus a is equal to z. Now we shall see what happens when x is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, what happens? X की जगह में 0 substitute करें तो b minus a plus a. So a will be getting cancelled and I'll be getting the value as z as 0. Right. Now I'll be putting x is equal to 1. When I put x is equal to 1, I think a will be getting cancelled, and finally I'll be getting z is equal to b. observe carefully beta everyone. When I put x is equal to 0, I'll be getting, z is equal to a, because b minus a into 0 will be equal to 0 only. So I'll be getting z is equal to a. When I put x is equal to 1, I'll be getting z is equal to b. Therefore, what happens? B minus a integral of 0 to 1 f of b minus a into x plus a dx is equal to b minus a integral of x की जगह में 0 substitute करें तो we'll be getting z value as a. When x is equal to 1, I'll be getting z value as b, and in place of f b minus a into x plus a, I need to put z, and here if I differentiate, what happens? B minus a into dx is equal to dz. That means in place of this particular dx, I'll be getting dz by b minus a. As we are integrating with respect to z, b minus a is a constant that comes outside. If it comes outside, both will be getting cancelled. So finally what happens? That is equal to integral a to b f of z dz remains. So this is nothing but a to b f of x dx, that is nothing but LHS. Therefore RHS is equal to LHS, hence the required property. Very, very important. You should remember all these properties in order to solve numericals, and sometimes this kind of properties they'll be asking to prove in your CBSE examination, right? So we shall start our numericals. Thank you. Copy. So we are going to start numericals now. First of all, we shall be seeing about the problems based on the property integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx, and this is a special case beta. Integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. I think all these properties we proved, and you should memorize for solving the problems in a easy manner. Right, when coming to this problem, one problem we shall see 3 to 4 problems based on this property. He is asking us to evaluate integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx upon 1 plus under root of tan x. So what I will be doing means, I will consider or I will call this as I. So I is equal to integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3. Tan x means we know sin x by cos x. Therefore root of tan x means root of sin x by root of cos x. So if I take an LCM, this becomes root of cos x divided by root of sin x plus root of cos x dx. Pi by 6 to pi by 3, this becomes root of cos x by root of sin x plus root of cos x dx. So now what I will be doing means, I will be applying that particular property, integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of a plus b minus x. Here a refers for pi by 6, b refers for pi by 3. So pi by 6 plus pi by 3, in rough I will be calculating pi by 6 plus pi by 3. Pi by 6 plus pi by 3 means LCM is 6, pi plus 2 pi gives rise to 3 pi by 6, that is equal to pi by 2, because 3 ones are 3 twos are. So directly a plus b minus x means I can write pi by 2 minus x. So what happens? Integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3 under root of cos of pi by 2 minus x divided by under root of sine of pi by 2 minus x. How you got this pi by 2 minus x? Just now I explained. I am applying this property a plus b minus x. A की जगह में pi by 6, b की जगह में pi by 3. So a plus b minus x means here I will write minus x means what happens? Pi plus 2 pi, 3 pi by 6, 3 pi by 6 means pi by 2 minus x. Directly I am writing here. So under root of cos of pi by 2 minus x, and here there will be dx. So what happens? That is equal to integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3. Under root of cos of pi by 2 minus x means that becomes under root of sin x divided by this becomes under root of cos x plus under root of sin x. So this also I call as I. Therefore finally what I will be doing, I will consider I plus I. 1I will take as our original pi by 6 to pi by 3 root of cos x divided by root of sin x plus root of cos x. Another I will take it as pi by 6 to pi by 3 root of sin x divided by root of cos x plus root of sin x dx. Nothing is there means it is clearly understood dx is there. So I think if I take integral common, our LCM will be root of sin x plus root of cos x. So finally what happens? Integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3, there remains under root of cos x plus under root of sin x plus under root of cos x plus under root of sin x dx. I think both will be getting cancelled. Both will be getting cancelled. So finally what remains? I plus I means what? 2I. That means 2I is equal to integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx. So finally what happens? 2y is equal to integral of dx means x. So x and limits are pi by 6 and pi by 3. So what happens? 2y is equal to pi by 3 minus pi by 6. So 2I is equal to, I think LCM is 6. LCM is 6 means what happens? 2 pi minus pi. It will be pi by 6 and our answer I is equal to pi by 12. What refers for I? Here I is nothing but integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx by under root of 1 plus tan x. You should remember and the property and please copy the problem. Right, now we shall be seeing another problem. He is asking us to evaluate integral 0 to pi e power cos x upon e power cos x plus e power minus cos x dx. Right, so what I'll be doing? I'll be considering this as capital I. Let capital I is equal to integral 0 to pi e power cos x divided by e power cos x plus e power minus cos x dx. So what happens? That is equal to integral 0 to pi. Here also I'll be applying the property cos of, observe carefully, pi minus x divided by e power cos of pi minus x plus e power minus cos of pi minus x dx. I think by this time you should get an idea what property I applied. Integral of 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of a minus x dx. This is the property I applied over here. So finally what happens? Integral of 0 to pi cos of pi minus x, it is looking like cos of 180 minus theta. Cos of 180 minus theta means which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant means cos will always be negative. So this becomes e power minus cos x divided by e power minus cos x, and here also minus cos x will be coming, but outside minus sign is there. So what happens? E power cos x dx. So I will call this as also I. So finally what happens? Therefore I will put or I will add I plus I. For the first I will be writing integral of 0 to pi e power cos x divided by e power cos x plus e power minus cos x plus integral of 0 to pi. For the next I will be writing this thing, e power minus cos x divided by e power minus cos x plus e power cos x dx. So on the whole, I plus I means it becomes 2i, and integral of 0 to pi. If you could observe carefully, denominators are same. So I will be taking LCM. I will be getting e power cos x plus e power minus cos x divided by e power cos x plus e power minus cos x dx. I think both will be getting cancelled. So finally remains 2i is equal to integral 0 to pi dx. But integral of dx means x, limits are ranging from where to where? 0 to pi. So what happens? 2i is equal to pi. So where I is equal to pi by 2. Therefore, what will be our answer? I is equal to pi by 2. The I means what? Integral 0 to pi e power cos x upon e power cos x plus e power minus cos x dx. Therefore, I will be equal to pi by 2. Please copy. Right? We shall be seeing another problem which they had asked for in many 2 to 3 years CBSE examination. So what I will be doing? I will consider, let I is equal to integral of 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x whole power n dx. So what I will be doing? I will be applying the same property, integral of 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So x ki jagah mein I can substitute 1 minus x. So what happens? Integral 0 to 1 in place of x 1 minus x. That means 1 minus of 1 minus x whole power n dx. So this turns down to integral 0 to 1 1 minus x. I think 1 will be getting cancelled. There remains x power n dx. So finally what happens? That is equal to integral of 0 to 1 x power n into 1 will be x power n dx minus integral 0 to 1 x power n plus 1 dx. 1 into x power n will be x power n, x into x power n will be x power n plus 1 dx. So that is equal to integral 0 to 1 x power n dx means x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 from the limits 0 to 1, and here comes x power n plus 2 by n plus 2 from the limits 0 to 1. So what happens finally? That is equal to substitute upper limit, substitute lower limit. So substituting upper limit means what I will be getting? 1 by n plus 1, because 1 ki power n plus 1, 1 ki power n plus 1 will always be 1. 0 substituting means it becomes 0. Minus of, here also the same thing, 1 by n plus 2. So LCM will be n plus 1 into n plus 2. Here comes n plus 2, here comes n plus 1, as minus is there it comes minus n minus 1. So n will be getting cancelled. Finally comes 1 upon n plus 1 into n plus 2. Therefore finally what I will be concluding? Integral of 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x whole power n dx is equal to 1 by n plus 1 into n plus 2. It is very important problem. It is one of our latest CBSE questions. Right? Evaluate integral of 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan x dx. This is also an important problem. So here what I will be doing? Let I is equal to integral of 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan x dx. So here also I will be applying the property, integral of 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan of pi by 4 minus x. What is the property? Every time I am not repeating. What is the property I applied? integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to f of a minus x dx. So wherever x we are finding, we are substituting a minus x. Here a की जगह में pi by 4 is there, so it becomes pi by 4 minus x. So integral of 0 to pi by 4, this is 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan of a minus b. Tan of a minus b means tan a minus tan b divided by 1 plus tan a tan b. So that becomes 1 minus tan x divided by 1 plus tan x dx. Why? Tan pi by 4 is always 1. So finally what happens, that is equal to integral of 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan x plus 1 minus tan x divided by 1 plus tan x, and outside that will be dx. So tan x will be getting cancelled. So integral of 0 to pi by 4 log of 2 by 1 plus tan x dx. Log of 2 by 1 plus tan x dx. So this also I will call as capital I. Therefore what I will be doing, I will be adding I plus I on the whole every time 0 to pi by 4. For the first I, it comes as log of 1 plus tan x dx plus integral of 0 to pi by 4, there comes log of 2 by 1 plus tan x dx. Now on the whole 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan x, I am keeping one square bracket, and here log of m by n. Log of m by n means I can write as log m minus log n. So comes as log 2 minus log of 1 plus tan x. Now outside dx, I think log of 1 plus tan x, log of 1 plus tan x will be getting cancelled. There remains 0 to pi by 4 log 2 dx. 0 to pi by 4 log 2 dx. So log 2 will be coming outside. Log 2 will be coming outside. So log 2 will be coming outside. There remains integral 0 to pi by 4 dx. But integral of dx, I'll write another step. Integral of 0 to pi by 4 dx. So finally what happens? I think you completed this part. I am erasing and I am doing here. Finally what happens? There remains 2, the left hand side will become as 2i, log 2 will be outside, integral of dx will be x, and limits are from where to where? 0 to pi by 4. So what happens? Log 2 into pi by 4 minus 0. That means pi by 4 log 2. This whole thing is nothing but 2i, but we require I. So what happens? Pi by 8 log 2. Magar what is I? Integral 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan x dx is equal to, this gives rise to pi by 8 log 2. बहुत प्यारा problem, very important. Copy down. Sometimes we may get an answer in integers also. That means while solving, you should not get confused and you should be very confident while solving the problem. We shall go for this problem. Integral 0 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x divided by 1 plus sin x cos x dx. So what I will be doing as usual, let I is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x divided by 1 plus sin x cos x dx. Same property I will be applying. What is that property? Integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So here what happens again? Integral 0 to pi by 2. In place of x I will write pi by 2 minus x. Again in place of x I write pi by 2 minus 6 divided by 1 plus sine of pi by 2 minus 6 and cos of pi by 2 minus 6 dx. So finally, if you could observe carefully, what happens? Integral 0 to pi by 2, this becomes cos x, this becomes sin x. So cos x minus sin x divided by 1 plus cos x, and this becomes sin x dx, and this is I. So what happens? I plus I. I plus I means what? 2i. 2i is equal to integral of 0 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x, sin x minus cos x plus cos x minus sin x whole divided by 1 plus sin x cos x outside dx. I think sin cancels, cos x cancels. So integral of 0 to pi by 2 0 dx, that will be 0. So 2i will be 0. So I will be 0. That means what can I conclude? Integral of 0 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x divided by 1 plus sin x cos x dx equal to 0. This is also an important problem. It is one of our latest question. This is the symbol for importance. Evaluate integral of 0 to 2 pi cos power 5x dx. Right. For proving this property, we need to remember an important property. What is that property? Integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx provided f of 2a minus x is equal to f of x. Now if you could observe carefully, here our function is cos power 5x. That means 2a means here 2 pi. That means if I substitute rough, I am doing here, I am telling in rough. Here if I substitute x की जगह में 2a minus x, 2a minus x means here 2 pi minus x. So that means cos of 2 pi minus x whole power 5. So it is in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant cos is always positive. So it comes cos of 2 pi minus x means cos x. Cos x की whole power 5 means cos power 5x. So definitely I can apply that property. So how I will be approaching means, let I is equal to integral of 0 to 2 pi cos power 5x dx is equal to 2 into integral 0 to pi cos 5 power x dx. Now 2 into integral 0 to pi cos power 5x dx. So finally what happens? Again I will be applying the property. So 2 into integral 0 to pi cos power 5 pi minus x dx. What is the property applied? Integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So what happens? There I think here minus will be coming. Minus will be coming. That means this turns down to minus 2i. So finally what happens? That is equal to minus 2 into integral 0 to pi cos power 5x dx. So that comes, this whole thing is nothing but our I. That means I is equal to minus 2i. That means 3i equal to 0. That means I will be equal to 0. So integral of 0 to 2 pi cos power 5x dx will always be equal to 0. Very, very important problem. You please copy, but this they will be asking for very short answer questions. Right students, we shall be going for the problems based on another important property. integral of minus a to a f of x dx. Right? So finally what happens, integral of minus a to a f of x dx will be 0 provided f of x is an odd function, and 2 into integral of 0 to a f of x dx provided f of x is an even function. So what is odd function and what is even function? Once again you should remember. What is odd function? A function f of x is said to be an odd function provided f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. F of minus x is equal to minus f of x. And what do you mean by an even function? F of minus x will always be equal to f of x. Many a times we discussed those two properties. So directly we shall be going for the problem. Is asking us to evaluate minus 1 to 1 x cube e power x power 4 dx. We can do this kind of problems by substitution method also, but in less time we want to complete. So what I will be doing? I will consider f of x. What is our given function? F of x is equal to x cube into e power x power 4. So in place of x, if I substitute minus x, what happens? Minus x whole cube means minus x cube e power x power 4. So minus x cube e power 4 means this turns down to minus f of x. So what happens? F of minus x is equal to minus f of x. That implies the function f is an odd function. F is an odd function. If f is an odd function means definitely what can I tell? Integral of minus 1 to 1 f of x dx is equal to 0. Therefore finally what our answer? Integral of minus 1 to 1 x cube e power x power 4 dx will always be equal to 0. You should remember. Right? Copy this. Now I will be doing that problem also. Let here also what happens? F of x is equal to x cube sine power 4 x dx. So in place of x, if I substitute f of minus x, what happens? Minus x whole cube into sine power 4 of minus x, that is equal to coming as minus x cube sine power 4x. So that will be equal to minus f of x. So finally what we got? F of minus x is equal to minus f of x. Therefore finally integral of minus pi by 4 to pi by 4 x cube sine power 4x dx will always gives rise to 0. Why? Because this is because of the property integral of minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 0 if f of x is an odd function. I think you followed the problems based on this property. Now we shall go for further problems based on this property. You copy now. On the same property, on the same pattern, we shall be seeing another two problems. Here he is asking us to evaluate integral of minus a to a under root of a minus x by a plus x dx. So what I will be doing means, let capital I is equal to integral of minus a to a under root of a minus x by a plus x dx. I need to get an idea of rationalization. I will rationalize our numerator which is under the root. So under root of what happens? A minus x by a plus x into a minus x a plus x, I will rationalize with respect to denominator. So what happens? A minus x divided by a minus x dx. So finally what happens? That is equal to integral of minus a to a. Numerator will become as a minus x because under root of a minus x whole square divided by under root of a square minus x square dx. So finally, if you could observe carefully, this same thing can be written as minus a to a upon under root of a square minus x square dx minus integral of minus a to a. This can be written as x by under root of a square minus x square dx. Now if you could observe carefully, this is one function and this is another function. Now here I am doing, so what happens, if you could observe carefully, this is one function and this is another function, and so what I will be doing means, for my convenience, minus a to a, this I call as f1 of x dx, and here also minus a to a, this I call as f2 of x dx. Now f2 of x is nothing but x by under root of a square minus x square dx. Here f2 of x is nothing but x by under root of a square minus x square dx, and x की जगह में if you substitute minus x की जगह में if you substitute minus x, what I am getting, minus x by under root of a square minus x square, that is equal to minus f2 of x. That means f2 of minus x is equal to, I got as minus f2 of x. That means I can write, I can call f2 is odd. I can call f2 is odd. Similarly, if you could observe carefully, what can I tell? f1 is a even function. f1 is even function, because in place of x, if I substitute minus x, I am getting f1 of minus x is equal to f1 of x. So f2 of x is an odd function and f1 is an even function. So definitely I can apply the known property. If f2 of x is an odd function, that means we got here f2 as an odd function. So definitely what happens, integral of minus a to a, f2 of x dx will become equal to 0. So here I am erasing, just you please copy. Right, I am erasing now. Now later what happens, this part will become as 0 and this will become as integral of 0 to a f1 of x dx by the property. So what happens, 2 into integral of 0 to a f1 means I can write as a by under root of a square minus x square dx. So later what happens, 2a integral of 0 to a dx divided by under root of a square minus x square. So what happens, 2a into this becomes as sine inverse of x by a from the limits 0 to a. Now if I substitute upper limit, what happens, we are getting sine inverse of a by a. That means sine inverse of 1. Sine inverse of 1 is nothing but pi by 2. If I substitute 0, it will become as 0. So finally what happens, this becomes 2a into pi by 2 minus 0. So finally pi by 2 minus 0 is pi by 2. 2 will be getting cancelled. What will be our net result? It will be equal to pi a. Therefore what happens, integral of minus a to a under root of a minus x by a plus x dx will be gives rise to pi a. It's a very, very important problem, many times asked. You please copy. Right. Now we shall be seeing the fourth problem. You call it, this is the third problem now. I am erasing this problem, right? Yeah. Integral of minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 x cube plus x cos x plus tan power 5x plus 1 dx. Now how can we do this means, if you could observe carefully, I will treat this as one function f of x and this particular one as g of x. So we are getting integral of the form minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 f of x plus g of x dx. So this I will write as minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 x cube plus x cos x plus tan power 5x dx plus integral of minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 dx. Now if you could observe carefully, this is a function. That function for some time here I will write as f of x. for my convenience, so x cube plus x cos x plus tan power 5x. So in place of x, if I substitute minus x, I'll be getting minus x whole cube. So minus x into cos of minus x, this is cos of minus x plus tan power 5 of minus x. So what I'll be getting? Minus x cube minus x cos x minus tan power 5x. So minus common means x cube plus x cos x plus tan power 5x. So this becomes minus f of x. So f of minus x is equal to, this is f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So f is odd. If f is odd means integral of minus a to a f of x dx will become as 0. And here integral of dx means x and limits are from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So here what happens? Pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Upper limit minus lower limit, that is nothing but pi. Very important. But everything you should mention this in your rough if you want to get full 4 marks. That means integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 x cube plus x cos x plus tan power 5x plus 1 dx means one should you treat as f of x, another one as g of x. So it is also important problem. We shall see problems based on the property integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx provided c lies between a and b. That means I think here breaking up the integral. So how to break the integral, that is also very important. So I'll be telling a special technique. Try to make the function, whatever function is given, let that function I call as f of x, make it as make it equal to 0. So we'll be getting x is equal to 3. As we are getting x is equal to 3 and 3 doesn't lies between interval 1 and 2, no need to break up our interval. But between 1 and 2 always mod of x minus 3 will be negative. So what happens? 1 to 2, this function turns down to x minus 3 dx, because 1 to 2 mod x will become equal to minus x, but here x minus 3 is there. So minus will be outside and 1 to 2 x minus 3 dx. So minus of what happens here? X square by 2. And here what happens? 1 to 2. And here comes, what happens here comes minus 3 into outside will be x, and there the limits will be from 1 to 2. And I'll close this particular bracket. So finally what happens? That is equal to minus of, I need to substitute upper limit and I need to substitute the lower limit. So 2 square by 2 will be 2 minus 1 by 2. 2 minus 1 by 2 minus of, here 3 will be there and 2 minus 1. So finally what happens? I think so 2 minus 1 by 2, 2 minus 1 by 2 will become as 3 by 2. So what happens? That is equal to, here I am doing, that is equal to minus of 3 by 2 and here minus 3. So minus of 3 by 2 minus 3 means 2 3s are 6. So 3 minus 6 means minus 3 by 2. So 3 minus 6 means minus 3 by 2, that will give rise to 3 by 2. I think you clearly followed. How to break the interval means make function equal to 0. You will be getting the necessary points. As here x is 3 lying between 1 to 2, there is no need to break up. But between 1 to 2, mod of x minus 3 will always be negative. So minus outside, integral 1 to 2 x minus 3 dx. Integral of x will be x square by 2 from the limits 1 to 2. And integral of 3 dx means 3x from the limits 1 to 2. So after substituting, final we will be getting it as 3 by 2. I think it is clear. You can copy. First of all, we need to find the roots. We shall try to find the roots. X square plus 2x minus 3. So comes, so what happens here? Plus 3x minus x minus 3. So what happens? X into x plus 3 minus 1 into x plus 3 that is equal to x minus 1 into x plus 3. So if you could observe carefully, if I make it 0 for some time, I got x as 1 and x as minus 3, So what happens if I go by sine method or maybe curve method? Here comes minus 3 and here comes 1, and here always it is positive, and here it becomes negative, and here it becomes positive. That means from minus infinity to minus 3 we will be getting as positive, from minus 3 to 1 we will be getting negative, and 1 to infinity will be getting as positive. So here if you could observe carefully, 0 to 2 is there. 0 to 2 is there means the function can be broken as 0 to 1 mod of x square plus 2x minus 3 dx plus 1 to 2 mod of x square plus 2x minus 3 dx. So 0 to 1 means 0 to 1 values lies between minus 3 to 1, and that is negative. So the whole function becomes negative. So what happens? Minus 0 to 1 will be getting as x square plus 2x minus 3 dx plus here 1 to 2. 1 to 2 means 1 के आगे सब इधर पॉजिटिव है, so the function will also become positive. So what happens? 1 to 2 x square plus 2x minus 3 dx. Now I think we can do our integration very easily. I think you followed this. So directly I am now doing calculations. So minus is there outside. As a minus is there outside, what happens? That is equal to minus integral of x square means x cube by 3. Integral of 2x means 2 into x square by 2. So here remains x square, and minus 3x from the limits 0 to 1 plus there also x square means x cube by 3, and there remains x square minus 3x from the limits 1 to 2. So what happens? That is equal to minus of x की जगह में 1 सब्स्टिट्यूट करें तो 1 by 3 plus 1 minus 3, and 0 सब्स्टिट्यूट करें तो 0 हो जाएगा, plus 2 cube by 3 plus 2 square minus 6 minus of 1 by 3 plus 1 minus 3. Yeah, after substituting, I think finally everything on calculations will be getting the answer as 4. Right? Copy this problem. In today's class, we shall start about integrals, which is the last topic known as limit of the sum of a series. That means we need to evaluate definite integral by using this particular concept. That means limit of the sum of a series. Here we need to remember small working rule. What is that working rule means? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to limit h tends to 0 h into summation r is equal to 1 to n f of a plus rh, where nh is equal to b minus a and n is tending to infinity. Right? Here we need to take the function whose integral is to be found as f of x. Now I go by an example. What is the example means? Evaluate integral 1 to 3 2x plus 3 dx. Here our function is f of x. So here I am doing, you need to observe carefully. Here f of x is 2x plus 3. What is our lower limit? 1. What is our upper limit? 3. And here nh means what is telling? b minus a. b minus a means 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2. And always n is tending to infinity, that is clear to us. Therefore, what is our formula? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to limit h tends to 0 h into summation r is equal to 1 to n f of a plus rh. So what happens? Limit h tends to 0, h as it is, summation r is equal to 1 to n, f of a plus rh. f of a plus rh means 2 into a plus rh plus 3. That means x की जगह में I am substituting a plus RH. So later what happens? That is equal to limit h tends to 0, h into summation r is equal to 1 to n, 2 into, in place of a I need to write 1 plus RH plus 3. Now later limit h tends to 0, h into summation r is equal to 1 to n, 2 plus 3 5 plus 2RH for us. Now I shall be using all summation properties. So what happens later? I will try to use more space, that is equal to limit h tends to 0. I think summation r is equal to n 5. 5 means 5 into summation r is equal to 1 to n 1. So what happens? This becomes h into 5n plus limit h tends to 0, limit h tends to 0, h into summation r is equal to 1 to n 2RH. I think you are clear. The one which is outside I have distributed to the things which are inside. That means 5 into the whole thing plus 2RH into the whole thing. But here summation r is equal to 1 to n, 5 means 5n. So later what happens? Limit h tends to 0. This is 5nh plus h will be coming outside. H will be coming outside means h square, because here we are going to apply limit h tends to 0. This is h square and 2 will be outside. Summation r is equal to 1 to n. R means what? N into n plus 1 by 2. If you could observe carefully, this particular h square can be distributed inside. So how I will be distributing means limit h tends to 0 5nh plus limit h tends to 0. See here very beautifully I will be writing here nh, and if you could observe carefully nh, again one h outside, plus h, nh plus h whole divided by nothing is there, 2 I made cancel. So if you could observe carefully, h if you take outside also there remains h square, there is no loss for us. But nh के स्थान में in place of nh I can write 2. Therefore 5 into 2 will be 10, and limit h tends to 0, 10 means 10 only. And here also plus nh in place of nh I can write 2. Here also what? 2, and h as it is. So what happens? Limit h tends to 0, 2 into 2 plus h. Now 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 2h, and limit h tends to 0. That part will become equal to 0. So what happens? Our final result will be 10 plus 4, that is equal to 14. It's a very lamba process, but you should remember because they will ask for our 4-mark question. Once again I am repeating, we need to consider the function whose integral to be found as f of x, and we need to apply the formula integral a to b f of x dx is equal to limit h tends to 0 h into summation r is equal to 1 to n f of a plus rh, where nh is equal to b minus a and n is always tending to infinity. So once again I am explaining this problem. We need to take f of x is equal to 2x plus 3, where a is equal to 1, b is equal to 3, and nh is equal to b minus a, that is equal to 3 minus 1, 2. So integral a to b f of x dx is equal to limit h tends to 0 h into summation r is equal to 1 to n f of a plus rh. So f of a plus rh means x की जगह में a plus rh is there. So in place of x I substituted a plus rh, and rest goes as calculation. If you could observe carefully, nh is equal to b minus a we used in the process here, if you could observe carefully, right? Thank you. Please copy it so that we can go for next problem. Now we shall be seeing the last problem of the integrals and the last pattern. evaluate integral 0 to 1 x square dx as limit of the sum. Similarly, here also we need to take the function as f of x whose integral is to be found. So here as usual I will be doing here f of x is equal to x square, a is equal to 0, b is equal to 1 and nh is nothing but b minus a. So nh is nothing but 1 minus 0, that is equal to 1. Therefore integral of 0 to 1 x square dx is equal to, we need to write the formula, limit h tends to 0 h into summation r is equal to 1 to n f of a plus rh. So as usual, limit h tends to 0 h. So in place of x I need to substitute a plus rh. So summation r is equal to 1 to n a plus rh whole square. So here a means again I need to substitute 0. So because lower limit is 0, so limit h tends to 0 h, summation r is equal to 1 to n, in place of a 0 0 plus rh whole square. So what happens, limit h tends to 0 h into summation r is equal to 1 to n r square h square we are getting. I think as we are doing summation with respect to r, h square comes outside and there remains h cube. So what happens, limit h tends to 0 h cube into summation r is equal to 1 to n r square. So what happens, here I am doing limit h tends to 0 h cube, summation r is equal to 1 to n r square. R square means sum of squares of first and natural numbers. Sum of squares of first and natural numbers means n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Now here what I will be doing means, limit h tends to 0 h cube is there, so I will be distributing h like this. I think so that if I take h common, finally I will be getting a h cube. I think everyone you are clear. But now in place of nh I can substitute 1. So limit h tends to 0 1 here and here 1 here and here h here and here 2 into 1 means 2 plus h whole divided by 6. But now limit h tends to 0, so this becomes 0, this becomes 0. So finally we will be getting 2 by 6. 2 by 6 means 1 by 3. Now how can we verify also, I will be telling. We know that integral of 0 to 1 x square dx is what? Here verification I will be telling. Verification, because you people know how to do. Integral 0 to 1 x square dx means what? X cube by 3 from the limits where to where? 0 to 1. So what happens, upper limit substituting 1 by means 1 by 3, lower limit substituting means 0 by 3, finally I will be getting 1 by 3. So this answer and this answer should get matched. So I think you followed how to do definite integrals using limit of the sum of a series, right?